GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered. And that's MVS and Justin Watson with some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues. If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow, comma, semicolon, period, next sentence, to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man JRich.
Is that yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up with Ray
and Jay
in the morning.
My God.
How good is
Dude.
he? How good is baby? GMGP. It is Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. This is Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right here on the channel. I see the good people in the building. Patrick Price in the building. Alex C. Daniel. I saw my dog Marcus. Appreciate each and every eye, each and every ear that taps into the show, man. It's been a minute. We've been out for a week. It's been a minute, so I'm glad to be back. JRich, how you doing, baby?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad to be back, too. It was a fun week in Dallas. It was good to see you. And I'm ready, man. We got some football on the way, right? Tomorrow.
It's good to see you.
I'm ready.
Good to see you, bro. And
I will tell the people though, that office, Ray, little smaller in person, but the GQ household. Oh, let me tell you, it's better in person, baby. And that Epson TV, my goodness.
You like the Epson. You got to see the Epson. You got to see it. JRich. Yeah, JRich. It's been a It's been an eventful week, man. And I just want to start off, hit the music real quick, man. I just want to say thank you, all the love, all the good vibes, all the good wishes, all the prayers. I appreciate y'all. I was out for a week. A very serious situation happened at the household, man, with my youngest, man. You know, I always talk about my kids on the show, baseball and things that they're doing. It's dad gang out here, man. I got a lot of parents in the building, a lot of moms, a lot of dads that watch the show, and had a very scary situation that popped up and escalated real quick, Jay. I mean, you were at my house 2 Sundays ago, and 72 hours later, we were at the hospital, and just scary stuff. Walking into an oncology ward for a child, your youngest baby, when everything just seemed to be okay, was not on the bingo card at all when we were playing NCAA here at my house. But, thanks to my wife and her quick actions, family coming into town to help keep things as normal as possible, right? For my oldest, and trying to hold it together, and the doctors and the nurses and the medical team. Everything is good. Everything is good. We're blessed. We're fortunate. And what I said, Jay, is I don't really talk about personal stuff like this, social media, YouTube, none of that. But this nerdy fantasy football community that we have, these supporters that watch our NFL content, man, I cannot thank y'all enough. There were so many people that reached out. If you want to know the full thing, go search my Twitter account. But so many people, dude. Text, call, DM, reached out, sent Topo Chico, sent a meal, just to kind of be there with us through that very, very scary situation. And, just can't thank everybody enough, Jay. You being one of my best friends in the world, being here, people that watch this show. So I just want to say thank you. I just want to say take some time at the beginning of the show to say thank you, because I know there are a lot of people who have gone through similar situations that we have, and did not get the type of positive news that we got. So a whole new outlook on things for me. I don't even want to argue with you, JRich. No, I mean, the little stuff just doesn't even matter, right? It just doesn't even matter. So I just want to say thank you, Jay, for being one of my best friends, for being supportive. Thank you, everybody that watches the show. Sorry we were out a week, but that just gave us a lot of content to gather up to talk about. So much love. Thank you. And I'm excited to be back, Jay.
Yeah, no, it's I'm very happy. Obviously, we were in contact throughout the whole time.
Yep.
It was scary even just like being there, right, and all that stuff, and seeing him before. But I'm glad he's doing better. But I will say, just on a lighter note, to the people, your kids are crazy, man. Like, they are wild. I have not been around kids for a long time. I live in an adult household now. We're all 25 plus, and just a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, and a 5-year-old just bouncing off the walls from sun up to sundown. And I was like, oh my God, it was absolute chaos.
That's what kids do, JRich. That's
crazy.
what damn kids do. So appreciate it. Excited to be back. And if you missed any of the content on the other channel, y'all know the drill, man. Shane says, KTC Dynasty followers, buy, sell, and hold on DDFFB. And if you are a member of DD Fantasy Football, which you should be, especially getting closer to the fantasy football season, the start of the NFL season, trades, Dynasty trades, the Dynasty Deal Show. Tyler Clare, Shane Manila, and Scott Connor is also back. So make sure you check that out. It was posted yesterday for public consumption. Jay, we missed so much, dude. There is a lot going on. Contract signings, training camp is in full swing. And then we also have a football game tomorrow that I'm excited for, my friend.
Yeah, it should be good. We got reports that some of our favorite rookies will hit the field. For how long? We'll see, right? Because it's probably going to be a drive, but apparently everyone who's not named Justin Herbert and Ladd McConkey, and I probably Rashawn Slater as well, out his record-breaking contract, we should see a lot of Chargers on the field. I don't think we've seen much word on Detroit yet, but we will see our favorite Chargers rookies hit the field tomorrow.
Yeah, man. So Hall of Fame game tomorrow, Chargers versus the Lions. Football starts Thursday. It's like, was it like week 0? It's not really preseason week 1. It's the first game. Yep. So the Chargers and the Lions will end up getting 4 preseason games while everybody else in the NFL, they only have 3. Remember that chopped down a few years ago. The Chargers get an extra game, and it does look like we're going to see Omarion Hampton, Trey Harris, some of the rookies, right? It does look like we're going to get to see those, and everybody's favorite, which, hey, JRich, in the spirit of everybody, you see the new trend? I told you to draft this person. We've been telling you about Keandre Lambert-Smith since the draft, and now everybody wants to be on the KLS train. But Keandre Lambert-Smith should be out there playing. Trey Harris, Omarion Hampton. Looks like we're getting the full allotment of rookies for a series 2, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you are a believer in Keandre Lambert-Smith, who you put me on to, like probably March or February at that point.
It was February time,
and it was a long time. And it's funny because, again, he played at Auburn, but it reminds me a bit of Darius Slayton when he got hyped out. Yeah. No one really talked about Slayton, but he had good movement skills. He's great in the air, obviously fast enough for the NFL level. And maybe KLS is a player that in the Hall of Fame game does get some extra run because he's not a high-profile rookie. But we will see some Trey Harris and Hampton as well. But yeah, I think if you're a big fan of Keandre Lambert-Smith, there's probably a pretty good shot of seeing him get some extended run in this game tomorrow night.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get through some of the there's so much, man. So we're vibing today. I mean, there's probably 100 things that I want to talk about, and we don't have enough time to do all of that. So some people got paid, Jay. There was some money changing hands, some big money deals going down. There are a couple of players yet to receive that deal. So let me just pull it up. Let me pull up the old Twitter share screen here. Let me see if we can get this together. Okay. Here we go. Cortland Sutton, JRich, talk about it while I get the people's ticker. The people love the ticker, man. I got to get the ticker up, JRich. Go ahead and talk about Cortland Sutton, Bo Nix's new big-time weapon, man. Locked up, new deal.
Big-time weapon. That's a bold claim for old Cortland Sutton. But Cortland Sutton, 4 years, $92 million extension. But, Ray, the key factor here, because, of course, this is very relatable to Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin wants a new extension in Washington. $41 million guaranteed for this extension. So it's a $23 million a year deal. He only got $41 million guaranteed. So almost 2 full seasons guaranteed for Cortland Sutton in his new deal in Denver. He is also a 30-year-old receiver. So it complicates things in the negotiation for McLaurin because obviously he's not quite as good as McLaurin, but they are arguably comparable assets. They're number 1 receivers on their team, rookie contracts for the quarterbacks. But decent deal for Sutton, almost 2 years guaranteed. Great for Bo Nix. But I'd be curious how Terry feels about it because he wanted a lot more money than that from Washington.
Yeah, he did. He and I don't know if the reports are true, but I'm seeing he wants upwards of $30 million a season for McLaurin.
He wanted more than DK, and DK I believe is 33 or 35 million a season on the AAV, and he probably wants over 60 million guaranteed.
Do you think he's going to get that? Why you sneeze? Bless you. Sorry about that. Do you think he's going to get that? I didn't mean to ask you that while you were about to sneeze.
No.
Do you think he's going to get that?
I think it's more complicated now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I thought he was worthy of 2.5, probably, I think 70-ish guaranteed if you're Washington. Because I think he is more important to the offense than Courtland Sutton is to Denver's. But I don't know, man. To see that Sutton only got 41, that's not a lot of money. Like, you can't, Terry can't then go and say, I want 70. But
Jake Ferguson.
Jake Ferg
got a deal. 4-year, $52 million extension with the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott, Dallas, they've got their tight end of the future, at least of the immediate future, in Jake Ferguson.
Yep.
Dallas kind of finds these guys, right? After Witten, they ended up finding Dalton Schultz. They let Dalton Schultz walk to Houston because they had a Jake Ferguson out of Wisconsin. They've got Jake Ferg. They drafted Luke Schoonmaker, going to be the tight end too. So if you've got Jake Ferguson in Dynasty, you got to feel a hell of a lot better about him being the guy moving forward for Dak Prescott. This is a good deal for Dallas. I like this a lot.
Yeah, no, Dak loves tight ends. They have a guy that can operate in this area. We know that Pickens is going to be a factor, but in Dallas for years, it was one main receiver in CeeDee Lamb and a great tight end in Dalton Schultz. And now they have that third receiver with Jake Ferg being able to be that guy over the middle for Dak. I think it's a great signing for Dallas. And it's just not the one we were looking for, right?
Yeah, not the one. Rashawn Slater, you touched on it. Mega deal for the young, talented blindside protector of one of the blindside protectors for Justin Herbert. So talk about Rashawn Slater getting this 4-year, $114 million extension, highest paid offensive tackle in the NFL on an annual basis. Slater, 4 for $114, getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive contract, obviously, and it's the highest given out to a tackle. Let's see what the guarantees are. Guarantees are $92 million overall guaranteed for Slater. And it's just good because Harbaugh came in, he said that their offensive line is a weapon too, and that all the weapons need to play better. And what do you know? They invest in their offensive line. They give Slater this massive contract. Going to protect Justin Herbert, obviously their number one asset right now, but was not expecting this quite yet. Massive deal. Curious how it impacts the rest of the offensive line market, but Slater signed through his age 30 season and basically guaranteed till then. Going to be protecting Herbert for years to come. Great signing for the Chargers. Had to happen. Glad they got it done.
JRich, the last signing I kind of want to talk about is one that we had discussed multiple times on the show. Wasn't going to get done. He was going to go back and play college football, but the Cincinnati Bengals got it done. Shamar Stewart, their first-round pick, 17th overall in the 2025 NFL Draft, is signed. Every 2025 first-round pick now has a deal. Shamar Stewart is on the field, 4-year, fully guaranteed deal, $10 million signing bonus. I don't know if things got.
Do you not see the details?
This happened amongst the chaos. So I saw him sign, but I don't know if the contract got updated to his liking or did he just sign the original damn deal that the Bengals put out there for him. But Shamar Stewart is there, and I did see like his first play out there in pads. They crashed down on him like 3 offensive linemen. We're gonna show you, young rookie. But Shamar Stewart in the building, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's good he's in the building, right? So, right, for the actual contract and what changed from the original that he didn't want to sign. So he did sign a contract with the void language. So that was where it's kind of like, okay, you didn't want the void language in there, but you signed the contract anyways. Now, the Bengals did give him an extra $500K up front for his signing bonus. So for signing the contract with the void language, he was given an extra $500,000 up front. Personally, I don't know if that's a massive victory. It's a small one in some respect. The contract was already fully guaranteed. You got a little bit more.
He just wanted more upfront
but
money. He didn't want the void language.
Well, obviously they're negotiating over the void language, and it forced the Bengals to give an extra $500,000 up front. Maybe that matters to him. Maybe it doesn't. But the contract itself is fully guaranteed in its whole entirety, but it's the void language was the big issue. So it's interesting that he signed it, but they still, I guess he got something out of the deal. He got something. I just don't know if it really makes I don't really think he
was
won
it worth all the
personally.
drama, right? Probably not.
Yeah, if he signed
not.
it, months ago and didn't get the 500K, he still may be in a better position than he is now.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
He's still catching up.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Oh man, I'm okay. So there's still a lot of news. Treylon Burks, pour one out for Treylon, man. Poor Treylon, JRich. Treylon Burks, your wide receiver one in the 2021-2022 class. Your WR1 was released by Tennessee, man. He was released. I think he was injured, right? He got hurt again. And
yeah, he broke his collarbone.
Just it's the biggest X factor, right? You cannot injuries, dude, and he makes a big play, makes a catch, and then it's a concussion, and it's a broken leg, and then it's a broken arm, and it's a broken collarbone, and a broken foot, and a broken finger. They just said we're done. Treylon Burks. And to be fair, man, he was probably destined to fail, right? When you're traded for AJ Brown, and then kind of the comparisons are AJ Brown, and then your miscast as an X receiver, you're going to be the primary. Just did not work out for your boy Treylon Burks. So we're going to pour one out for Treylon, and hopefully he finds his way back on a team. But I'm seeing some people talk about Isaiah Likely and surgery in the chat, JRich. So I'm just going to Schefter's timeline, and we're scrolling down the board 9 minutes ago. This is big. This is not good. Kador Kohu, Dolphins cornerback, veteran cornerback, partial ACL tear that will require surgery to repair it. So the Dolphins traded Jalen Ramsey. They bring in Minkah Fitzpatrick, give him a rework deal. But Kador Kohu is one of the veteran leaders on that defensive secondary who is going to miss time. So not good. Not good for the Miami Dolphins. 13 minutes ago, head coach Kevin Stefanski announced that cornerback Martin Emerson has a torn Achilles tendon. JRich, torn Achilles tendon for defensive back Martin Emerson of the Browns. Here goes Schefter talking about sort of what's happened to the Dolphins' defensive backfield with Kador Kohu going out. And then right here, Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely suffered a small foot fracture during Tuesday's practice. If all goes well, it's an early season return and week 1 is possible. If all goes well. So is that surgery and recovery, or is that rest and rehabilitation?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like we know exactly what the extent of the injury is. Is it a Jones fracture, which I think at this stage of preseason, we probably wouldn't know how bad the fracture is.
Yeah.
At this point, it's very similar to other injuries in preseason where they say they're week to week. And we don't know what week to week means. We don't know what that timeline is. And we'll get to other injuries where we have no idea what the timeline is. But when we're hearing potentially week 1, that tells me also potentially could be on the pup and miss a month. Just for his own safety, come back week 5, and then he's good to go. The fracture, depending on how bad it is, could take 6 weeks, could take 8 weeks, could take longer than that. But once it's healed, he should be fine. It's more of a pain tolerance issue than anything else. So if he does get surgery, he's probably out a little bit longer, probably goes on the pup, but hopefully once he's back, he's more than fine after that.
Well, it's kind of like, and there were some people in the chat. I'm going to give the Wake Up chat some love here. There were some people earlier this year, because what's the last image you have of Mark Andrews? What's the last burning image that's on repeat? When you think Mark Andrews, what do you think? You think that Buffalo Bills right?
I think of him on his butt and the ball rolling the other direction. Right?
And at that moment, man, a lot of people were done. Get rid of him. I mean, we talked about, it'd be a great fit in LAC with Justin Herbert. Get him back with Greg Roman, trade him, wheels up for Isaiah Likely in 2025 and beyond. But there were a lot of people who were like, I'm still going to lean on Mark Andrews. Like, I'm not buying into Isaiah Likely. We do this shit with him every single season, Ray. You pump him up every year. He gives us some flashes, but he's not consistent, right? He's not a consistent starting tight end. There were a lot of people that were still on the Mark Andrews train. JRich, the way that we sit right now, when you're looking at this pass-catching core of Zay Flowers, who people like, but the shine and luster is definitely worn off of Zay Flowers, DeAndre Hopkins, Rashad Bateman, Tylan Wallace, why not Mark Andrews being exactly what he's been, to at least start the season? I can't tell you how his legs and his body's going to feel week 17, week 18. But to start the season, hey, it's about to be
Yeah.
Mark Andrews' time, right? And you've been able to get a massive discount on him all offseason because nobody kind of wants him anymore. I don't really like Mark Andrews. Hey, dropped the damn ball, lost the Ravens a game, not that good. Isaiah Likely's going to take over. We're right back into Mark Andrews season, huh?
Yeah, well, I think the sad part is what does this do for Andrews' value? Because so Ian Rappaport is reporting that Isaiah Likely is going to have surgery to fix the broken bone in his foot, and the belief is he's about 6 weeks out.
Foot
though,
injury,
depending on
tight
how
end
it
position, not good.
Not good, but 6 weeks from now isn't too bad, right? That's basically week 1, potentially into week 2, depending how he heals, could be faster, but. Yeah, I mean, you want Mark Andrews because he's going to have the practice reps. He's going to be the only tight end in town, and he's still a great red zone threat, whether you think that he is washed or not, because that's what he specializes in. So when Isaiah Likely is the player that's taking targets away from a Mark Andrews and taking touchdowns away from Mark Andrews, isn't in the building, isn't available, all of a sudden, you have a great situation on your hands for Mark Andrews. So I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to continue to be a dominant pass catcher in this offense, and one that, as you mentioned, doesn't have a whole lot going for it. There's not a lot of guys that are going to demand targets in this offense, and Andrews can certainly do that, whether you think he's washed or not.
Come on, Keegan. Keegan said, give me the third string tight end on the Ravens over Andrews. Stop it, Keegan. Stop. You don't want that.
Who is it, Keegan?
Charlie Coley. No. I mean,
Ooh.
it's you know what is, and I'm not saying he's gonna have this type of season, but it's exactly what we did and do with Kelsey, right? Because he's not 1,500 yard a season Travis Kelsey anymore, I don't want nothing to do with him. The dude is a bum. Get him off the field. But when you're just talking fantasy football and what you're chasing is opportunities and targets, he's still at $133. He still had 133 targets last year, Travis Kelsey. Mark Andrews, I don't know what his target volume was, but I know this, with Likely missing all this training camp time, broken foot, like we don't even want receivers coming off of broken feet. Like it's just not a good thing when you need your damn feet to plant, to run, to be explosive, and you're playing probably one of the most violent positions because you're like part-time lineman, part-time receiver.
Yeah.
Andrews is going to be on the field, and he's a consistent known commodity for Lamar Jackson. This is one, whether you like him or not, don't overthink it, right? Don't overthink anything else. Like it's just, he's going to be there. He's going to be a plug-and-play weekly asset at the position. I'm not here debating about his damn dynasty value. I don't know what you can trade him for next season, a year from now, but when you're talking about scoring points this season for 2025 to start, Mark Andrews is right back in play, dude. He's right back in play.
Yeah, and let's not forget that he was also banged up going into the season last year as well, right? He had a bit of a slow start. He was dealing with some of his own injuries. And what's crazy is he still had 11 touchdowns on. Do you want to guess how many targets he had?
Wait, he had 11 touchdowns last year?
Yes, he had 11 touchdowns last year. How many targets do you think he had?
Probably 85.
69. He caught 55 of those for 11 touchdowns for an enormous 20% touchdown rate last season. Again, he's probably not going to do that this season again, but he's got a very high touchdown rate over the past couple of years, and I think he'll be heavily utilized in the red zone. I think he's going to be more than fine, and especially for where you drafted him, a touchdown-dependent tight end that can get volume is actually pretty solid. He's probably not going to get quite to 100 depending on how things go this season, because if Bateman's healthy, he'll take some targets away, but in the red zone, he's still that dude. 55 receptions on 70 targets and 11 touchdowns is outrageous, but it tells you that's who Lamar Jackson wants to go do in the red zone. That's the guy who's going to get the ball in the red zone.
All right, well, the guy who's not getting the ball anytime soon, and who knows what he's going to look like when he actually gets the ball in season, Joe Mixon, JRich. Joe Mixon is on the non-football injury list right now. Texans running back Joe Mixon, who is on the non-football injury list, is expected to be out an extended period of time with a frustrating foot injury. Isn't that something? Speak of the devil. We're pumping up that Likely is going to be ready, and Joe Mixon is still dealing with the foot injury himself. So Joe Mixon, there have been wild speculation. He had been in a walking boot. He wasn't in a walking boot. The Texans said he was good, but then now he's not good. So Nick Chubb and Woody Marks and Dare Agumba, who else I don't even know, who else they have at running back in Houston. This is looking like one of the nastiest RB rooms to start a season right now in Houston, with a lot of expectations on CJ Stroud, on this revamp, repieced offensive line. You've got Nico, you've got these two young rookie wide receivers, you got an old Christian Kirk. What does not having Joe Mixon in that backfield for the Texans mean when I'm reading we were kind of laughing pre-show. I'm looking at some of the beat reporters talk about Nick Chubb, watching him at practice. I know what D'Amico Ryan said, but I'm just reading some people say he just doesn't look great, right? Doesn't He looks fine, but he doesn't look like, oh my God, this is Jahmyr Gibbs out here. It's not Bijan
Well,
Robinson. What is this? What is this? Well, I say that because people still hear the name Nick Chubb, and you think that dominant dude that was killing it in Cleveland, right? That was one of the best running backs in the league, but that's not where we're at. Extensive injury history with Nick Chubb. Mixon's banged up. You got Woody Marks. You got whoever. What is this backfield, man? What do you do with this?
yeah, so Joe Mixon, right, on PUP right now. The backup, per the depth chart, Nick Chubb. Third on the depth chart, Dameon Pierce,
Okay.
also injured, right?
Right.
Woody Marks, J.J. Taylor, Dario Gumbawale, and Jawar Jordan, who was like a sixth round pick from last season. So basically, we're in a situation now where if Dameon Pierce is healthy, which I don't even know what his injury status is, they don't really like him there. He didn't really play much. It's probably going to be a combination of Nick Chubb and Woody Marks to some extent for this backfield, depending on how they feel about Pierce, if Mixon is out. But ultimately, Ray, and I think where the D'Amico Ryan's quote is interesting is they need Nick Chubb for pass pro because Woody Marks is not the player you want to have in pass pro right now.
You don't want Woody pass pro now.
And Mixon was obviously a massive part of pass pro last season, which they're going to need as they revamp this offensive line. But it's going to put a lot of pressure now on CJ Stroud. And so for you, knowing that chances are the running game struggles early on, Nick Chubb, maybe isn't quite as good as we expect him to be, or he doesn't really move the needle for them in the rushing game consistently. They're going to be a lot more pressure on CJ Stroud. And how do you feel about him and those pass catchers, knowing the offensive line could be bad and struggle early on in the season?
I just did a little search for Woody just to see what any of the beat reporters are saying about him. You got some people tweeting, some just regular people tweeting about Woody. Nick Chubb, already a brother, great player. Jay, I've been sort of on this. I feel the same way about Woody Marks today that I felt about him when they drafted him. That he was drafted to do a specific thing in this offense. He wasn't drafted to be Joe Mixon's replacement. He's not drafted to do what Dameon Pierce probably was drafted to do, like be a bell cow during his rookie season. I believe he was drafted with a plan in place to use him as a pass-catching weapon out of the backfield. That's what he did. He caught damn near 300 passes in college. Awesome at catching the ball. He's a very good route runner. He's explosive. He can make some defenders miss in tight spaces, but he's not what you would call a prototypical, like, bell cow type running back. So will there be some more opportunity potentially given to him as a byproduct of Mixon not being there? Chubb maybe not being the same guy he was in the past? Yes. But I don't think there's a world where he's the featured running back in Houston. And you know what? Like, frankly, I don't want that. Did you hear Alvin Kamara talking about Kendre Miller, talking about some of the other running backs on his team? Alvin Kamara did a press conference a couple of days ago where he was talking to reporters, and he said, man, those guys look good. And the question was almost like, I don't know if it was, I think they were asking him about rushing yards and how many carries he can get. And Kamara
probably because he's never had 1,000 yards.
Yeah, never had 1,000. And Kamara was like, I like to be efficient. I'm hoping some of those dudes can get some work in the backfield to take pressure off me. That way, when I get in the game, I'm getting all the good stuff, right? I'm taking the screen passes. I'm taking the swing routes. I'm getting the big open lanes. I'm in the 4-minute offense. Woody's going to have a role. And I've said that from day one. He's going to have a role because he does something that Mixon didn't do. He does something that Dameon P did something and he does something that Chubb can't do right now in his career. He's not going to be
run fast,
this pass-catching monster, right? So not good for Joe Mixon. I don't think I've drafted him much. I did draft a few Mixons. Like, he's there. I gotta get a share, some exposure. But yeah, man, I'm excited about the opportunity that Woody can see, but I'm not I'm not like jumping him up 50,000 spots and saying he's going to be the guy, you know?
Yeah, I think it's early on in the year. Maybe Woody gets a few additional opportunities, and we're excited to see that. We'll see what they get out of Chubb, but maybe they do have to lean a bit more on the passing game, and I think that's the part that's scary, unless you really like Christian Kirk or you think he could be the wide receiver 2 in this offense. Or you're heavily invested in Jaden Higgins and hope he can kind of take some of those opportunities because they just won't be running the ball as much. But it just seems like it's going to be great for Nico Collins to start the year, and he may start the season very, very hot. And we'll see how CJ Stroud operates under this new offensive line and hopefully some semblance of a running game, because we know that they really leaned on Joe Mixon early in the year last year, and it really benefited that team as a whole, especially with how bad the offensive line was.
All right, Jay. I want to talk. Let's just stick with the running back thing for a minute. So for you, because I want the people to hear it, are you more interested in Marks today? Like, are you like, oh, I've got to move Woody up a little bit, or are you more interested, but still, because he's damn near going undrafted, man. At least prior to the news about Mixon, Underdog. I'm using Underdog. DraftKings, you can honestly, Jay, you can get him in the last damn round, the very last round. You can get him your final pick 220 something. You could take Woody Marks. So how do you feel about him today versus maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
So I'd say there's reason to be optimistic. I don't think his price is going to move drastically, but I would tell the people right now, if you're looking to this team in preseason, he's the player that could rise a lot from now to the start of the season.
I agree with that.
Because Joe Mixon, there's not a lot of reports of him going to be available for week 1 or potentially available for week 1, at least as it stands currently. But week 1, Woody Marks might get a lot of opportunities in preseason, depending on how the Texans feel about him. And I think the other side of it, right, is if we don't see any Woody Marks, that's also very telling that they are going to need him come the regular season. So both sides can be true. If he looks good, he might get pumped up a little bit. His ADP may rise. For now, nothing really changed. I'd probably draft him about the same amount. But if you want to take a shot now because you think there's a lot of upside from a draft potential perspective, I think early on there could be some added opportunities for Marks if he looks good in preseason.
All right, man. We're gonna stick with the running back thing, but as more people have joined in, I appreciate all the love. I'm reading. I'm trying to just talk through the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading all the comments. Appreciate all the love, all the thoughts, all the prayers that you guys have sent our way, our family's way, my little man's way. Thank y'all. Thank you. I kind of talked about it at the beginning of the show, so just replay that. We didn't spend a whole bunch of time on it, but I did address it, and I do want to say thank y'all. Love you. Appreciate the support. Like for real, from the bottom of my heart. Bottom of my heart. Thank you. Jay, another running back, man. Another running back getting pumped up. It was only a matter of time, man. He's only, was he 20 years old now? 19 years old? I don't know how old he is. He's 15. I don't know how old Braylon Allen is, but the hype machine for New York Jets running back Braylon Allen, Jay, this is all I'm seeing all over my timeline. And this on top of Breece Hall during his presser saying, hey, they didn't draft me.
I ain't their guy.
They didn't draft me. They didn't pick me. I'm not their guy. I got to prove it every day I go out here. Jay, Aaron Glenn said it months ago. It's going to be a damn Navy offense, triple option. He told us we're running the wing T out here. We got Braylon. We got Breece at fullback, Braylon at one of the wings, and then we've got damn Isaiah Davis at the other wing with Fields at quarterback. Wing T, 0 pass attempts happening. Braylon Allen, man, are you excited, Jay? Are you excited?
I wouldn't say I'm excited for Braylon Allen, but if I was a Breece Hall fan, I'm definitely a little concerned.
Look at this one from Chris Podzuskak. Look at this one. Look at this catch. Look how big he is compared to the damn linebacker.
There's nothing to see there, though. He just caught a little flare route on the outside, and no one was covering him.
Pure speed. I'm just showing you pure speed right here. Playing with the backups. Are you excited about Braylon Allen, Jay? The people are excited. Are you? You don't seem to be very enthused.
So I think the reason why people were excited is there is potential for him to be in the David Montgomery role should they decide to run a David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs style of split backfield with Braylon Allen and Breece Hall. And of course, Breece Hall would be the Jahmyr Gibbs type of running back in this offense. That's the selling point, but that's am I buying it's going to work?
For both of them.
I'm not saying, well, it's not that you just can't be that efficient. The offensive line isn't as good. The quarterback's not as good.
They're trying to be the
running
next
backs
Tajay
aren't as
Spears
good.
and Tony Pollard. Do not invoke Gibbs and Montgomery into this.
I'm just saying, this is what people are saying. This is where the hype is coming from. This is a player that averaged 3.6 a carry last season in his rookie year at 20 years old. Again, are the Jets a better team this year than last year? Frankly, I don't know. And I'm not going to speculate over whether they're better than they were last year, but I know that they weren't very good, and they're probably not going to be very good this year. Could Braylon Allen be a valuable asset to their offense? Sure. But am I buying into him being a viable fantasy option? Personally, no. Are you excited, Ray?
I mean,
what is it that you are clamoring to? His 2 targets a game and his 6 rush attempts?
Well, I mean, I don't think that he's going to, just because that's what he did last year. I'm not projecting that out and be like, oh, he's only going to get 2 targets. I think here's what I always say, and the people in the chat, they can back me on this one. I'm not just paying attention to what we are seeing, right? There's a lot of stuff that you can interpret, even on those clips. Some people in the comments say he looks slow. Some say he looks fast. It's fine. We can debate all of that. What I'm always looking at, Jay, is what's not being said, right? Remember all the Najee stuff? I'm like, they're saying this, but what have we not seen? We haven't seen Najee. We haven't heard from Harris. What haven't the coaches? What I have yet to see is Breece Hall's our guy. Breece Hall's our man.
Yeah.
This is I'm just, so because of what we're not hearing, because of what Aaron Glenn and the offensive coordinator are not saying about the presumed starter, well, then that leaves the door and the window open for opportunity for other players. And this happens so many times. We are just focused on what we see or what we want to believe, but the coaches aren't doing that. The same thing is happening right now in across multiple teams and multiple. I look at the Patriots and everybody wanting this thing to happen for a certain player, yet every time they're going out there, it's a different outcome. So when I'm looking at this Jets backfield, I've yet to see any of them guys say this is our guy. Like he's our lead dog. We're riding him. If he was that, they would say it. If he were that, they would say
it. Here's my counterpoint to that.
Okay, look what you got.
Aaron Glenn strikes me as a guy who wants to play the game. He doesn't want to have his cards out on the table. He just wants to be ambiguous, right? You got to work, you got to earn it, and whatever happens week 1, you'll find out week 1. So that's where, again, I do agree with you. We're not hearing the positive Breece Hall's our guy, but it's Aaron Glenn and kind of the interviews I've seen of him and him talk at the media as the head coach doesn't strike me like we're ever going to get that. At least not now, right? We're not going to know that now. He wants to be ambiguous. He doesn't want us to know what he's doing and what his plan is for this team. And I feel like as Jets as a whole, we don't know what they're going to be. We just know that Garrett Wilson's going to get a lot of targets.
Right.
We know that. But outside of that, I wouldn't say we know a whole lot about this offense. We don't even know how good Fields is going to be, because even Fields, that he's been talked about by the media, but we don't know how much they're going to rely on him versus the running game and kind of how this offense is going to look. So I just think Aaron Glenn's being a little ambiguous about the backfield and wants these guys to, as you say, kind of earn it and see what happens. But yeah, it's definitely, from Breece's side, not overly encouraging when he's even saying, look, I'm not feeling too good or confident in my role in the offense based on kind of his comments.
Yeah, I'm reading the comments right here. Breece to be the lead dog, always in the JRich. If you say he's your guy, it kills the motivation. If you say who your guy is, it kills the motivation for the others. Make it feel like a true competition, and people will try harder.
That's fine.
Yeah. I just,
in a general sense, sure.
I just don't think they're playing them type of games on the football field. Like if he was, they would say it. I don't know.
Well, on the football field, no, but in the media, definitely a little bit. In the media, they've been unnecessarily cryptic.
Okay, well then how
team.
How are you feeling about the reports about Tank Bigsby being the guy? And I'm just
I kind of believe that.
You see how it differs from player and player, because all the beat reporters are saying Tank Bigsby, right? Oh, he's the guy. You got Liam Cohen pumping him up. So that's what I'm. So how do you play the Bigsby, ETN. Now Bichelle Tootin is hurt, and you and I were never, ever.
We were never,
ADP of him like that.
Yeah. So
I'm
look
not
at it from this
about
perspective.
anybody, but you ought to be a damn shame to yourselves where you were drafting him earlier in the process. It's just wild, absolutely insane. But how are you playing? How are you playing the news with Bigsby versus ETN then? Because they are saying things about Tank.
Yeah, so I think in the case of there, you probably should buy into Tank being the potential lead guy right now. But the thing is, with those two assets, they have the same ADP. They've been basically being drafted at the same spot for I'd say at least a couple months now from when I've seen it. And I think the other side of that is that we've seen Tank Bigsby be better on the football field than Travis Etienne.
No,
right? We've
never
never seen.
No.
Some people say again, I don't necessarily agree. I think that Travis Etienne is the better talent and the player I'd rather own for fantasy purposes because he's probably more likely to receive the receiving work, whether he's the primary rusher or not. But some people believe that Tank Bigsby has shown better on the field than Travis Etienne, and that's why he was benched last year. And I think you can make that case. I think that's a fair case to make as Tank Bigsby as the lead rusher over Etienne. But I still believe if you're talking about talent, you lean Etienne absolutely, and I'd be drafting Etienne. But in terms of price, if you want to buy into the beat reporters, I'm fine with it because they are on the ground doing the work and watching this unfold, and their ADPs are similar. But I'd still be taking a mixed match of both. And if you believe the reports, I'm fine with it. Maybe it changes in a week, maybe it doesn't. But buying in now, you're probably not losing a lot because his ADP is not going anywhere.
All right, here's the quote paraphrasing from D'Amico Ryans on Nick Chubb. Okay, this is we're paraphrasing here. Shout out to Coach Peak Index. Guy's age, he's been through a lot. It's not always going to be the same as his early years in the NFL, but what I hang my hat on with him is that this guy loves football. He's physical. He plays and prepares the right way. Really sharp guy in the protection scheme. That doesn't instill a lot of confidence from me drafting that Nick Chubb. I'm going to just leave that at that. And then...
No, it does not.
It does not. It does not. I saw a comment about Travis Hunter. We're going to get to Travis Hunter next, but you know good and damn well, we're not going to come back to Wake Up and not talk about our favorite pass-catching wide receiver room in the NFL, the battle that has raged since February, DJ Moore versus Rome Odunze. But you know what, Jay? I don't need to talk. Let's listen to Coach Ben Johnson talk about his wide receivers and what he's seeing out of these guys. Let's listen to Coach Johnson. We don't need to listen to me, Jay.
I can't even hear him.
You can't hear him?
No.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No.
Oh, well, he's talking about him, okay? Ben Johnson.
Okay.
Ben Johnson.
Who's he talking about?
Well, let me pause it because I can hear the damn thing. Ben Johnson praising Rome Odunze, calling him the prototypical X receiver, saying he's been really impressive in camp, especially in one-on-one matchups. Jay, DJ Moore versus Rome Odunze. Are you still going to ride after we've been off for a little bit of time? We've had some time for this to marinate.
Whoa. Okay, whoa. Don't change the argument. The argument was never Rome Odunze versus DJ Moore. It was that you think DJ Moore sucks, and he doesn't suck.
I didn't.
You continually.
No, sir. I'm not going to allow you to lie on me today.
Chat,
I never said
please keep him in check, even on his first day back.
He's not the one in this offense. It's Rome Odunze, man.
That's fine. He's not even drafted as the one in the offense.
I think he's drafted
as wide receiver.
He's
drafted behind Zay Flowers.
He's drafted ahead of Rome Odunze.
I don't think he is, man.
I'm telling you he is. He's drafted ahead of Odunze.
Okay, so even if you think that he is not better than Odunze, I'm fine with that. But what is it that you dislike about DJ Moore? Like, I'm with you. Rome Odunze is going to be great this year. And I've always said that. I've never said he's not going to be good. I've always said he's going to be great. But it's your discount of DJ Moore potentially being the one in this offense that is like kind of crazy. Because he could be the one in the offense. But there is absolutely a world where Rome Odunze is better than him. But if the price for DJ Moore continues to go down, why aren't we in on DJ Moore? Like,
are you interested? Let me give you some Let me give you some
Colston
Loveland highlights. Are you interested in the Bears tight end right here? Colston Loveland.
I'd say a little bit.
You like that?
I'd say a little bit. I mean, so the one thing about Loveland is I don't think I've heard anybody say a bad thing about him at all.
This is Luther Burden. That's Luther Burden.
Oh, 87, man. 87's been a tight end number the past little bit. That's he's looking a little slow, eh? He's looking a little slow. I didn't even know. Is he back at practice? I didn't even know he was back at practice.
That's Luther Burden.
What is Colston Loveland? Is he 83?
That is not.
That hamstring injury did a number on him.
Loveland. That is Luther Burden. JRich, thoughts here on this clip?
I mean, he looks like he had a hamstring injury to me because he's looking real slow. Real slow. He's probably just, going through the motions. First couple days back. I didn't even know he was back.
He's back. JRich, this is Luther Burden III, the Bears' rookie wide receiver, second-round pick. How are we feeling about Black Colston Loveland?
Black Colston Loveland's looking great, but okay. Luther Burden this season, not so good. Yeah, not so good. I would not be...
He's coming back from the hammy. Give him some time, right? Again, our job is to level set expectation. If you drafted Luther Burden early, I would just say, and we still have, 6 weeks to the NFL season? 4 or 5 weeks to
about
the
5
NFL
weeks.
Season? Just manage your expectations. This is a player, missed all the offseason program, just got back onto the field, clearly is not his same explosive self that we saw at Missouri right now. Just give it some time. This is
walkthrough, basically.
He also got kicked out of drills for doing the wrong thing, too. Ben Johnson was not happy, all right? Apparently Ben Johnson was not happy, but that's Luther Burden.
So can we talk about Ben Johnson for 1 second? Sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Where are you at on Ben Johnson? Because remember, months ago, I was like, I'm not loving this.
You didn't like Ben Johnson. You didn't like him talking so much.
I don't like the way that he speaks about his players in the media. I think that for a rookie head coach, he's... I don't want to go as far to say he's a tyrant, but he's definitely he's on a high horse. Dude, you've done nothing. And all the reports are your quarterback sucks. And this is your job. Your job is to take Caleb Williams and turn him from a bum into a star. That is your only job. But you're criticizing the receivers. You're talking shit about all these players doing things wrong. And the only job that you have is to make Caleb Williams good. And all the reports
What are the
reports
on Caleb? What are the reports you're hearing?
He's throwing picks in the red zone. He's not doing a good job commanding the offense. And every time, Ray, it's only July. It ain't even August yet. But
so are you panicked on Caleb? Or are you personally nervous about Caleb Williams?
I am personally a little nervous for Caleb's expectations. I think his expectations once again are very high.
They are high.
Ben Johnson is supposed to turn this offense around.
Fair. They damn well should be high. You were the number one overall pick, and I'm a Caleb fan, but the expectations should be high. Year 2, number 1 overall pick, second coming of Patrick Mahomes, and you get Ben Johnson. My expectations are not low.
I understand that, but at the same time, who is Ben Johnson? Right? We think he's this wonderkin coach, which great. Hopefully he's great for Caleb, but we don't know that he's going to be the savior for Caleb Williams. We don't even know if Caleb Williams is the guy. And the only reason why I say that I think it's difficult to judge Caleb at times, because Ben Johnson is, talked about as one of the smartest OCs, offensive minds in the NFL. That's not going to be an easy system to grasp and understand. Right? Jared Goff was also number 1 overall pick, and it took him some time to really understand the offense and command that offense to what it was 3 years down the line to be the best offense in football. Caleb Williams doesn't have 3 years to grasp this offense. He just doesn't. If he's not good in the next year or two, there's going to be some serious question as to whether he should be the quarterback going into year 4.
I can say that's Michael Penix, that's JJ McCarthy.
And that's
if Bo Nix stinks over the next 2 years, that's all of them.
But every quarterback you just mentioned, only one of them is changing OCs, and it's Drake May. And there's not a lot of poll reports about Drake May. Everyone says he's looking pretty good, but expectations for Drake May are extremely low. Bo Nix, same system. Jaden Daniels, same system. Michael Penix, same system. Everyone's in the same system except for Caleb and May. But expectations for May and Caleb are drastically different. Drastically different.
I don't know. I think the expectations are high for both. I think the expectations are high for both of those quarterbacks. I have been 10 toes down that as bad as the collective season for Caleb was last year. I don't think it was an awful failed rookie season. He got sacked a whole bunch. We know
The
that the
sacks were a
Bears,
big issue, though.
the sacks were an issue, but he didn't look like he can't play. And I've said that
No,
the
that's
entire
fair.
time. He absolutely looks like he belongs in the league. You got to be more consistent, right? You got to be on schedule, but that's a byproduct of who's the damn OC that everybody like. Was it Waldron was out there? Shane
Yeah,
Waldron.
Shane Waldron
Shane
sucked at
Waldron.
first, and then it was someone else who sucked. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, I think the expectation should be high. And regardless if I don't think he's the next Patrick Mahomes right now. I don't think you go that far saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do expect a good second season for Caleb Williams. I really do, man. And let's just keep this in the perspective a little bit. This is what this shit is for. Training camp, practice.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
It's to iron this stuff out, right? It's to work out the kinks. That way, by the time you get to week 1, you're ready to roll. So I'm not as concerned now about any reports, which I think they've been all right. Like I don't think they've been just bearish on Caleb Williams. I think people like
No, there's been some positive reports, but
he's an easy mark.
Absolutely, it is. But it's been mixed. It's been mixed reporting on Caleb.
Okay, that's fine.
For better or worse, right? You know, people are saying in the chat, Ben Johnson praised him yesterday. Okay, like that's fine. I mean, I don't hear him say bad things about Caleb Williams, but I do see a lot of people saying that he struggled at times in camp. And as you said, there's this heightened awareness because of Ben Johnson and what we expect from this offense. I mean, this is why we argue about Colson Loveland, Luther Burden, and Romo Dunze, and because everyone wants a piece of this offense and they want to be right about this offense. So there is that hyper awareness on this team as a whole, but this is a team that is going through a lot of transition. But we never talk about the offensive line, which, if they're good, is the biggest asset to this team. The offensive line that they had last season to this season should be drastically improved, and that's what everyone should be paying attention to, because if that's good, Caleb has a lot less excuses to not be good this season.
All right, I want to talk about 2 more quarterbacks, sir. I want to talk about Emeka Egbuka. There's a lot. R.J. Harvey. There's so much. We've got a preseason game tomorrow. We'll be on the show. Show will be back on Friday. Before we get out of here, though, I want to talk about 2 more quarterbacks, okay? And listen, I was asked on the Dynasty Mailbag show about a month and a half ago. Give me a bold prediction for this season. It was about a month ago. I was on DDFFB. I said that at the end of this season, Anthony Richardson will turn himself back into a viable fantasy option at the QB position. I'm not, listen, I'm just the messenger, man. My brain has been somewhere else for about a good 2 weeks, Jay. But I'm seeing and reading positive reports out of Colts camp about Anthony Richardson, that he is on track to be the starter week 1, that he looks different in camp. There's a quote here 30 minutes ago from Anthony Richardson. I can't be slacking anymore, Richardson told himself after the chaotic, disappointing 2024 season ended. Chris Ballard, eventually Anthony Richardson will be who we think he can be. What are your thoughts on the reports in the news, in the rumors that Anthony Richardson has improved and looks better and is on track to start the season here in 2025 for the Colts? Are you buying it?
Is that the report, that he is on track to be the starter for the Colts? Or did you just make that up? Because
I'm paraphrasing here.
I thought that still Daniel Jones is a projected starter, but of course it's a QB competition, so we'll see what happens there. I think I'm still in I'll believe it when I see it type of mode with JRich, but I have seen the positive reports. I'm willing to believe there's a world where he could be a viable starter.
Okay, Daniel Jones starts week 1. How long does he hold it?
Why can't he be the starter the whole season?
He's going to play. He's going to play this year.
So
do you have the faith and the confidence that
here's the debate, right? But here's the debate, and this is where Adam Levitin put this out, right? Talking about should Anthony Richardson have a short leash, and they need to figure out whether he's the starter. He said, option 1, be certain you know what you have in a dude you spent the number 4 overall pick on and has made 15 NFL starts. Option 2, hope to hit Daniel Jones's ceiling and win 9 games. Head to a wild card weekend as a 10-point dog. So, but this is the point. In a general sense, of course, play your number 4 overall pick, see what you have. But, Ray, we've been very outspoken about this coach, and we talk about him a lot. Shane Steichen is absolutely on the hot seat. Like, if
yes,
there was not Brian Daboll out there, he is on the hot seat. And so it's, how does he manage definitely being on the hot seat versus what could be with Anthony Richardson? Because if Anthony Richardson bombs and they start the season 1-6, that's going to be really bad for his hopes being the head coach even beyond those first half of the season. But if Daniel Jones has them treading water early, he may play out the whole year. So how do you feel about a Rich's situation, knowing that Steichen's probably coaching for his job a little bit here as well?
I'm just disappointed. I come back. Y'all know I've had a hard go at it. And then the chat just ripping me. Jimbo saying Ray owns a farm that only grows A-Rich beans. He said, I am beaned up for that A-Rich. I will not let go. What was the damn question you asked me? What did you ask?
I asked you, how do you feel about A-Rich knowing that, while yes, they should be knowing what they have at Anthony Richardson, but Steichen is probably coaching for his job right now?
Well, you know what?
Because that's always the debate, right?
Let me tell you this right now, man. If he's coaching for his job right now, he's already up Schitt's Creek without a paddle, because you're putting your faith in A-Rich and Daniel Jones. So I don't give a damn if he's coaching for his job or not. Can Anthony Richardson seize his opportunity when it comes about? That's the real question. I'm going to venture to say yes, man, because he's going to get a shot. He's going to get a chance.
But does he get that opportunity?
Doesn't matter.
If Daniel Jones is good enough. Because if he is coaching for his job... When has Daniel Jones
ever been good enough besides 2022?
Did he not win a playoff game like 2 seasons ago?
I said besides 20... Sam Darnold was good enough last year, too, and nobody wanted him.
Did he win a playoff game, though?
Now A-Rich has got to win a damn playoff game? Come on now, man.
And let's not forget who was on that Minnesota Vikings roster.
You know this is wild.
There is a quarterback on that Minnesota Vikings roster that probably could have won a playoff game, that has won a playoff game, who is not Sam Darnold.
Nick Mullins?
All I'm saying, Daniel Jones. Come on, Ray. Remember what happened. But so that's where, so you believe that he deserves a shot to start week 1. Do you think he will have that opportunity? Or what would you say his chances are of being the starter week 1?
I'm in. Chances 50%.
You've never left. Don't say you're in. You've never left. You're saying 50%, so you'd be buying right now.
Let's talk about your quarterback for a minute, who apparently is checked down Charlie in camp. Tyler Shuck. Let's talk about your boy, Tyler Shuck. JRich, how are things looking in New Orleans with Tyler Shuck?
It's looking like Spencer Rattler is going to be the starter, at least based off camp reports.
Tyler Shuck, second-round pick. I want to have a bigger overarching debate about these damn rookie quarterbacks. Cam Ward in a tier of his own. After Cam Ward, Dart, Shuck, Gabriel, Sanders. We'll save that for Friday, Jay. But the reports are Spencer Rattler is the one getting the burn with the first team. I meant Shuck's getting first-team reps as well. They're rotating. But Spencer Rattler, when he's out there with the first team, apparently looks pretty good, JRich. And I'm not going to say that his last year was great, but there were some stretches where Rattler looked like, okay, all right, maybe he can be a journeyman backup spell-type quarterback. We've seen Sam Howell, Davis Mills, right? On the higher end, the Fitzpatrick, the Hoyers, Spencer Rattler looked okay last year, but right now it's saying that he's progressing with the Saints and looking even better in camp, getting a lot of work with the ones. Rattler versus Shuck, how you think this is playing out?
I mean, I think we need a lot more data to know how it's going to ultimately unfold. It seems like today Rattler is the guy, and maybe Shuck can kind of take the reins a little bit throughout the preseason. But yeah, I think this is going to be a full-blown battle. It's definitely not going to be Shuck is our starter anytime soon, the way the reports are going and the way that both quarterbacks are being talked about. So I think for me, it's just kind of wait and see. But at the end of the day, Ray, like, why do we care? Like, this team's going to be terrible. You're just hoping Shuck is decent because maybe he has some value down the line. Rattler seems like a guy that's just, a QB3, probably. And that's just what he's going to be.
Why is Shuck better than Rattler?
I never said he's better than
No, I
Rattler.
know.
He's just young. I was gonna say he's younger, and I don't even think he's younger. He's just
I don't
less
even know if he's
experienced.
younger than Spencer Rattler.
I don't think he is. Spence is probably 25, right? 24, 25. And Shuck's 26. So
I'm just reading. I'm reading comments, right? And here's one from some Saints fan. Fans are too impatient when it comes to Tyler Shuck. Just because he was taken 40th doesn't mean he should start day one. Most rookies sit 2 to 3 years, which isn't true. Yeah. I just think there's some, there's some of these older quarterbacks that we kind of don't want that look good in camp. And that's Russell Wilson should look good, right? Russ has been there. He's done that. He should look better than whatever the Giants were rolling out last year. Spencer Rattler should look better than Tyler Shuck, unless Shuck is some freaking QB savant, right? I don't know. It's just getting back to the clips get you excited, man. And I don't want I don't want to be the policeman of getting excited over camp clips, man. We've been wanting football to be back for so damn long. Get excited over that Braylon Allen run. Get excited over Jaden Daniels darting up Jalen Lane in the corner of the end zone. A lot of excitement over 13-yard runs from Cam Scatterboo, but get excited if you will, right? Football is back. I'm not about to be the gatekeeper of what you can get excited about or not, but managing those expectations is really important, right? If you like Luther Burden, if you know that, man, the dude, Sammy, he didn't do shit. He got drafted and hadn't done a damn thing in 3 months, right? Hamstring injury, he's just getting back. So if he starts out slow, like don't panic, right? He's not a bomb. He's not a failed project. He's starting out a little slow. So it's really trying to level set and manage the expectation now. And even a player like Tyler Shuck, who I'm not a big fan of, Jay, he's going to get his opportunity to start at some point, whether that's week 1, week 12, next 2025, week 3. He's going to get a chance, but just because it doesn't happen immediately, don't be like, hey, man, this dude sucks. I need to move him, all this other stuff,
Yeah. And that's where, like, again, we kind of know what Rattler is. We've seen him play plenty of games. Maybe he looks better this season and actually can hold on to that job. But if he can't, which we kind of expect, you're going to see Tyler Shuck play. And that's where it's like, it's his first training camp. He's still learning the offense. Like, both guys are learning the offense, but Rattler, a much more experienced player.
Look at this from Nixon,
exactly
man.
1 year older.
Shout out to Nixon. Nixon says, Shuck is exactly 1 year older. They both have the same damn birthday, September 28th.
Oh, really?
JRich, you know who else's birthday is September 28th?
No.
My wife's. So
really?
She shares a birthday with Tyler Shuck and got a whole battle. Shuck, Rattler, and GQ's wife battling it out for birthday supremacy right there on September 28th. Frank said, GMGP, good to see you back, Ray. Good to be back. Good to be back. We had a couple of super chats, Jay. I gotta get Grandma to the airport. Grandma came down to help us out during our time of need, so I gotta get her back to the airport. But we got a couple of super chats. Josh Jones in the channel, man. What's up, Josh? He said, taking an attempt here to start a super chat chain for young GQ. He's going to tell us not to. Don't listen. The kid's a gift from the Wake Up fam. Hey, man, honestly, Josh, thank you, dude. Appreciate the super chat. I don't need anybody watching here to send any kind of money for us, for my family, none of that. If you wouldn't want to do anything, subscribe to the channel. Like, if you're watching this show, if you vibe with the content, honestly, if you just hit that subscribe button to help us grow, that will be, because someday I'm going to turn it over to little GQ, right? I'm going to turn it over. We'll replace JRich. Hell, actually, Jay, my son wanted to replace me he wanted you to beat me on the game. So I might get the boot. It might be little GQ and JRich on here, but just subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Josh. Much love. Appreciate you, but do not start a super chat train for little GQ. Just subscribe to the channel if you watch it. Stanley dropped one in here, and this was not for Lil GQ. He said, Field Yates sucks. Hey, Stanley, you know I love you. This had to be in relation to some draft pick, something. Shout out to Field Yates, man. Stanley, come on, dude. And then Jeff's got one here for us, JRich. He's got a question. Why are you both out on Tootin? He ran 4.3, had the highest vert of RBs, fumbles aside. Any shot he turns into A-chain, I'll hang up and listen. Thoughts on Tootin, Jay? I don't think I'm out on Tootin. I didn't buy the price.
It was the hype. It was the price and the hype.
He was being drafted like this guy's going to be Bucky Irving 2.0 because it's Liam Cohen, because he picked him in the 4th round.
Yeah. He's in a very crowded backfield with two talented running backs, right? Yes. It's not the same as having just Rachaad White ahead of you on the depth chart.
And it's hard to get. He's just not big, man. I mean, we were there with him. And I'm not the biggest dude in the world. He's smaller than me. Like he's just not. And size doesn't mean everything, right? Size doesn't. I'm not gonna get too freaky today. Size doesn't mean everything, JRich. But I don't know, man. Achane is a different cat, man. That's a different. That's just a different animal over there in Devon Achane. But I'm not out on Tootin. I just didn't like his price at all. Didn't like the price.
Yeah.
And then Fredo said
he was unnecessarily steamed up.
No, I was just gonna say shout out to the grandmas, man. Absolutely, Fredo. Shout out to the grandmas. Go ahead, Jay. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
No, I was gonna say it was just the price. It was like for where he was being drafted, and I think the great comparison, Ray, and we haven't even talked about Scatterbo. Like I would rather have Scatterbo than Tootin because the opportunity for playing time for him at a different talent is very good, right? So it's just like I understand people are excited for Tootin, but the price just doesn't make sense with the players that are on the roster and the potential opportunity that he could have. And when he's fumbling early, dealing with soft tissue injuries, like he could still make an impact in the second half, but you doesn't mean you should be drafting him as high as you've been drafting him early on the season.
All right, Jay, hit the music, man. Wife is in the chat. She's got the airplane signals up. The bat signals are up. We got to get the grandmothers to the airport. Man, we back. And on Friday, JRich, on Friday, we have an announcement of sorts to make. Some new content coming to the channel. We are also going to extend the show. We're going to take a pill and extend it a little bit. Go a little bit longer. Talk through all the hype. Talk through the preseason game. Jay, I love you, dude. Thank you for the support, man. Glad to be back. Richie, Garrison, Fredo, Jimbo, MV Prof, Stanley, Luke, Jeff, Andrew, Disbanded, Scribbles, Keegan's crazy ass, Smith Shot, Cold World TDE, everybody, Daniel, Ike. I saw DP from Bleacher Report in the chat. Thank y'all for supporting us. Thank you for all the kind words. And we'll be back on Friday. JRich, wake up with us.
Yes, sir.
Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's good to be back. Subscribe to the channel. Much love. We'll see y'all Friday. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.